So I'm sure you've noticed behind me is my stash of projects. And then a little bit over on this side is my floss. I have quite a bit of floss. And so I have all of that organized behind me on cube shelves that I got from Target. So that works really well as a storage system for me. So I'm going to start going through my Halloween WIPs. Again, I have 35 projects in this category. I've got them separated out. And there are 4 in here that are not Halloween, but they could be considered Halloween except for one that is a Christmas project. And that's my yearly twin project that I stitch with Tammy. So my first one that I'm going to show you is a daily project that I'm going to say a daily project that I'm going to work on daily. I'll get my words right eventually. But this is a movie from, I think, like 1986 or 87. It's an old B movie, very campy. Richard Mole is the gentleman. Let me restate that. He is the actor that was the bailiff on the original Night Court. He is the skeleton guy. And it's just a campy, funny movie. This movie poster has significance to my brother from his past and history. It's a good thing. And so it got stolen. And so he asked if I could cross-stitch it for him because I asked, what gift would you like me to make for you? And this is what he picked. So I did use Pick-to-Pat, which is a free cross-stitch online conversion program. I found a high-definition version of the movie poster, put it in a Pick-to-Pat, converted it for free, and I am using it for personal use only. There is going to be no monetary anything to this piece. It is just a gift for my brother, and because it's personal use, there is no copyright violation. I'm generally not going to throw out floss tubers names. I do watch quite a few floss tubers, and of course if you're curious who I watch, I can let you know. Just leave a comment down below and I can answer that for you. But I do watch, there's a huge list of floss tubers that I watch, but there is one particular floss tuber I watch, and her name is Gemma, Gemma Stitches, and she is also stitching a movie poster that she converted to a pattern. And it's for Firefly, and I love that TV show. I loved the movie Serenity. It's one of my favorites. Somebody did tell her that she couldn't show this on FlossTube because of copyright reasons. Well, that is not the case when it's for personal use only, because I created the chart. I'm not selling the chart. It's for me only. And then the finished piece is for me only. That all falls under personal use and is not a copyright violation. So it's okay to share it on YouTube or FlossTube because there is no copyright violation. So just wanted to clear the air on that one so I don't have a bunch of people yelling at me, copyright, copyright. That is not the case. Personal use only. So there's the movie poster. I'm so excited. I have quite a bit of progress on this one. Oh, I put it over here because this particular one I have to keep in a pillowcase because it is on a scroll frame, and I did unroll it so that we could see the whole thing. And I do have the parking method on this one, so there's some hanging strands, and I apologize if that irritates you. I know that irritates some people. But I'm really happy with the progress on this. I am currently at like 28% done. So I've got all the way across. The width of this project is completed. And then I have been working just slowly lately in the O area. This is the top of the skeleton hand. My brother asked me to stitch down to that, so I came from page 1 to page 5 to page 9, maybe? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Yeah, 1, 5, and 9. And stitch down those pages so that I could start the hand. It looks pretty wicked. This is on a 28 count white Monaco, just something I bought from Michael's with a coupon. And then I use a water soluble gridding pen you can get from any craft store. And so I just do my 10 by 10 grid with dots on each corner of that 10 by 10 area. So it's very clear to me where each 100 stitches goes in each block. And sometimes I do the upside down staircase method diagonally, as you can see a little bit here. And then other times I come in and I just stitch down because I just want to stitch down over those 10 or 20 X's, squares. Get my words right. So, and I did stitch all the way across the middle so I can come over, start the door here, and then the door here. See, there we go. That's a good way to do that. So I'm very excited with the progress on that. This is my project that is the focus and my daily goal. So I'm very, very excited to get some more progress on that. I usually give my brother a Monday night update every Monday, just because him and his wife are over-the-road truckers, and so it's nice for him to get an update on the gift project since he definitely knows that I'm making this. So my goal is to finish this in October of next year, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Okay, so my next category, let's see, and I do have like little index cards that I've done over the years trying to keep track of the project, how many floss colors, which that particular project has 150 colors in it, which is overwhelming at times, which is why I'm doing the Parky method. But then like the fabric, if I'm stitching it 1/1, all of my projects are full cross. I have tried tent stitch and I just don't care for it. I have done full cross for 37 years and it's really hard not to finish the X. All right, so my next category is Halloween WIPs in progress or works in progress. And it's everything but my Haid full coverage. So this particular project, my friend, I'll just say my twin friend, my twin cross-stitch friend, she bought this for me. I, again, absolutely love Halloween. I love dragons. I have a big dragon tattoo on my right shoulder blade. And I love castles and houses and all kinds of fun things. This is a metallic thread here with the Bothy Threads kit. It is quite cumbersome to work with, however, the results are amazing. And the only colors I have here to stitch are black and silver, a little bit of gold down here, and then there are some charms like these stars. And they are a little bit throughout the piece. All of the background color is the fabric. I'm trying to figure out the best place to set everything because I'm trying to keep everything in order, which is a challenge. I know now, of course, now I get FlossTube itchy nose. I'll be right back. All right, so much better. Get a drink of water, refresh everything. Very good. All right, so it's called Enchanted Dragon Castle by Bothy Threads. It is a kit. I do not think this kit is available for purchase anymore. There is another kit that is in the same theme with a witch, and I have that kit. I just don't know where it's at the moment because I just moved 2.5 months ago and I'm still trying to find everything and get settled. So this particular project, where'd my card go? It's a 14 count color printed Zweigart Ada. And it is absolutely awesome. So all the color that you see in the picture is the fabric. I just stitched black, silver, and gold at the bottom there. So I started in the middle, kind of in this area here, or it might be up here. Can't remember. I'd have to look at the pattern. But I don't have a lot of progress on it. However, I remember when I was stitching on it, I really enjoyed it. And I did try to iron everything to make it as pretty as possible so you could really see the stitching and the fabric. All right. I have a few project bags. Most of my bags are in these Amazon budget bags, I call them. But I do have a few project bags. This particular bag was made by my twin friend's daughter. She also cross stitches. Her mom taught her to stitch and we're very excited. She's part of the cross stitching family now. And so she started making these bags for us because she's very talented with sewing. And yeah, super cool. So there's that bag. And the project that has a home in there is a Just Cross Stitch Halloween ornament. Does it say which Just Cross Stitch? 2012. So this project is on a 14 count white Aida that I dyed a light purple mottled fabric. Not sure how to really say that. I dyed it light purple mottled. That sounds good. But it's called Fraidy Cat's Welcome. And here is my progress. This one I can't believe I haven't finished yet. Again, I dyed the fabric myself. Did a light purple mottled. I think it turned out excellent. It's darker than the picture, but I like it. Very much so. The colors really pop. And I'm using called for colors. So yeah, there's that one. Try to hold it one-handed. I shake a little bit. That's kind of weird. Learning all the ins and outs of how I need to do this to make everything work. And I'm kind of leaning over because I've got everything stacked and I have so many projects. It's hard to keep everything in place, in order. But I didn't want to have to take things in and out of bags and zippers and everything else. So I got it all prepared and ironed it all. Will I be that organized at every video? I have no clue. Probably not. But I tried really hard for the first video. So this next one is part of the Fright family ornaments. And I showed earlier that I had done this one. Eventually I will do them all. But this is the one I'm working on right now. It is called Mummy and Mr. Bones. And I'm just stitching it on an 18 count lamb's wool Aida. I will eventually do this one as well. And then those are two other ornaments in the issue that I'm definitely going to do this one. And then this is cute because I live in Texas. So yeah, probably be stitching all of those eventually. But right now I just have this one done and I'm working on this one. Again, trying to keep everything in order here. This is challenging. I didn't realize that this was so difficult. So here is all I have started on it with the frame on one side. I did mark in the middle with water soluble where my center was so I could center this. And sometimes, yes, I'm still very old school and I use masking tape. Shame for shame. But I have a sewing machine now and I do a zigzag stitch. So once this is done, it doesn't matter because right now it's fine. It doesn't bother me that there's tape on there. That's how I've always done things, so that doesn't really bother me. Only zigzagging has been like within the last 5-6 years. So this particular project does have its own project bag from Fat Quarter Shop. This was a free stitch along, I think. No, this was the paid stitch along in 2020. And I loved it so much that I bought it, which the Fat Quarter Shop, their PDF charts from like It's So Emma, which is their like down sister company from Fat Quarter Shop. They're all really reasonable on the PDF prices and stuff. So I a lot of times get them because I think they're adorable patterns. And I'm just a big fan of Fat Quarter Shop. I was part of a majority of their clubs until I had to move. So yeah, right now I haven't re-signed up, but hopefully in the future. So this is one of their bags that I did purchase from their website for the stitch along. Just love it. So my project lives in that bag. It is on an 18 count white Aida that I dyed a splotchy gray black, and this is the pattern. It's called Fright Night, and it's from 2020. And here is my fabric that I dyed, and I have the very middle spider done. Right in the center of the pattern, next to the tree. So there's my fabric. Again, it's darker than the the model, but I like the way it turned out, and this is like where the base of the house is going to be, so I think it's going to turn out really good. I'm excited. Some of these I have barely started, like that one. Other ones have more progress. Some are small projects, some are larger projects, so yeah, I have quite a bit. Definitely had FOMO for a few years, so I was buying a lot, starting a lot. I think a lot of stitchers over the time from 2020 and on kind of did that with all the Stitch Mania and all the other things that were going on. And of course, I loved following all of that stuff, and I still enjoy watching all that today. But definitely didn't participate other than behind the scenes as a stitcher, stitching with everybody, just nobody knew. So very happy to have this being documented now. It's kind of fun, but I do get my words twisted, so this is interesting. Next project is Ghoul's Crossing by Praiseworthy Stitches. This is a very large project. However, I absolutely fell in love with it from the moment I saw it. I'm stitching this on a 14 count white Aida that I dyed with new black. These are the colors I used. A lot of my dyes are powder dyes from Dharma Trading Company, and then I also use some liquid RIT dye. So I dyed it with new black and modeled it with charcoal gray and royal blue. This is a really large project, but I started in the middle because I wanted to make sure it was centered on the fabric, because the fabric is just absolutely huge. And that's my start. Just with the cat on the roof in the middle. So just right in the very center there. Right here. Right? Yeah. The roof is green, but in the photo it looks purple. That's kind of odd. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm using DMC. I think these are charted with like specialty floss. But I have so many projects and I have such a huge master set of DMC that I convert most of my projects to DMC. Very seldom do I use the specialty stuff, but I do have some specialty flosses and beads and whatnot that I do convert and use occasionally. I use a lot of glow-in-the-dark floss too on Halloween projects. So there's that one. Very large project, and I'm really happy with the fabric. I don't know how well you could see that. I love how it turned out. I think it's just absolutely perfect for this project. Now I can fold them. And I just realized that a lot of people are probably very curious about what my shirt says, and I know that can be a pet peeve sometimes on YouTube. What does your shirt say? So it says, yes, I really do need all these cross-stitch patterns. I figured that was very fitting for my first video. All right, my next project is Halloween Hijinx. It is part of the Jane's Joy collection by Carolyn Manning. This is just adorable. I know there was a stitch along a few years back for this. I did hashtags on Instagram with the account I had at the time, which I no longer have, but I do have a new Instagram account, Stitching on the 40. Yeah, so this is super cute. I am stitching mine on an 18 count white Aida that I dyed a light gray and green modeled. Because a lot of these have the fabric in between all the squares, so you do see the fabric, plus when it's framed, a little bit of fabric showing is kind of nice. So at the time I was doing like a square and then a hat, and then a square and then a hat, and that was going really well, and then I just didn't get back to it. But I think it's so cute. I love the way the colors pop. This is the entirety of the project and the fabric I dyed. The brightness of the colors are just so cute. And I love the little spider going down the yellow blocks. That's adorable. So I'm excited to get more done on that one in the future, as with all of the projects. So this is the area that I stitched. That's exciting. All right, we're getting through these. I have no idea how long my video is going to be, but hopefully it's entertaining. Then Halloween Ouija by Tiny Modernist. Doesn't say the year. I'm not sure what year this was a stitch along. But I ended up purchasing this chart at the very end when I could buy the full chart all at once. I have purchased charts that were released each week or each month during the stitch along, and I had a hard time transferring what I did to the new release chart, and it was just a bit confusing for me, so now I just purchase them at the very end when I get the whole chart at once. Everybody's different. So this one I'm stitching on an 18 count Earth and Ada by Picture This Plus. And I started in the upper left corner. This one I have a needle on, so I have to be careful. But this is the Earth and Ada by Picture This Plus. It is a little mottled. And I started in that top left corner. Looks kind of funny because it's like half a face with a mouth. But I really like the border. And it's going to look real good on that fabric. All right. This one is called Halloween Village. It's by the Stoney Creek collection. A lot of people make this into an Afghan and they stitch it on a larger count fabric or over 2. This is a better kind of view of what that is. Because this, they have it folded and it's hard to kind of tell, but. So what I decided to do is stitch this on a 28 count Monaco. Again, I have a needle up here. I got to be careful with that. And a lot of times I'll mark the tops of my fabric with the water soluble pen, or I'll actually stitch a T for the top if it's a dark color fabric and I can't see the water soluble. I'll stitch a tiny little T in like a white thread, if I can talk, floss. So I've only started in the very top left corner with a checkerboard on this one, but I actually decided that I'm stitching it on the 28 count Monaco. This is how big it will be. And I'm going to make it into a wall hanging when it's done. I also have the Christmas Village pattern that I plan to stitch, but I have not started that one yet. Right, this is from, and then I cannot tell because it's on dark background. It's called Haunted House. It's from a Just CrossStich Halloween issue. I do not know what year though, but I can find out if you're interested. It is on an 18 count Black Ada. I have to purchase Black Ada. I cannot get Ada dyed black enough to be true black and to not bleed. So I buy my Black Ada that I need. I think it's a super cute house. I love houses. I love Halloween and haunted houses. So that was a perfect fit. And I started this on Black Ada. So this is what I mean when I put the T at the top with white stitching. So I know that's my top. And I started that in the center, just with one of the house windows. It's kind of hard to, the color on that one kind of blows out a little bit. It's hard to get it to focus. But it's just the very center of the house that I started with the shutter that's leaning here. I'm excited to make progress on all of these, and as I go through this, I'm like, oh, I really want to stitch on that one and this one and that one, but it's going to be up to the spinner wheel, my daily spinner wheel. This one is called Hey Pumpkin. I do consider this a Halloween project because I love pumpkins, and while they can be for fall, I absolutely look at them and see Halloween. So this one can be out for autumn, fall, Halloween, all three. It's exciting. It's a fat quarter shot pattern from a Stitch Quarterly, one of their first, does it have the year? It's Sometimes it has the year on here. Yeah, I'm not sure. But this was one of their, I think this was like maybe their second or third Stitch Quarterly release. And it's on a 10 count burlap that came in the kit. This took a while to get used to because my needle falls out and everything else. I actually probably need like a size 24 or maybe even a size 22 needle. But this 10 count burlap is super cute, and I'm trying to get it to fold well because otherwise you can really see through it and probably can't see the pumpkin very well. Let's find out. So that's all I have done on the pumpkin. It's a relatively small pattern. However, I just need to stitch it. I'll get there. All right, we're getting further down the pile, getting closer to the end of just the Halloween stuff. And then we'll be getting to the Heaven and Earth designs that are just Halloween. This is called Let's Be Magical. It is by Ursula Michael. Hopefully I don't mispronounce any designers' names. I've been watching FlossTube long enough. Hopefully I remember how to pronounce them correctly. Super cute design. Not sure what year it came out. I was trying to look for that. So I'm stitching mine on a 14 count Aida that is opalescent. It's a white opalescent Aida. I figured that would be super cute on a sparkly fabric. So I started in the middle. I haven't gotten much done. I've done like working on this in Magic. Just to kind of give you an idea where I'm at. And again, I haven't done a whole lot, but it is on a sparkly Aida that I'm sure you cannot see the sparkles. The camera really generally doesn't pick up the sparkles. That's it. There was a summer that I started a bunch of stuff. I think it was 2022. And yeah, just never really got back to it. So I'm about to change that with my spinner wheel. And knowing that doing the floss tube and documenting this is going to help me stay on track with my stitching progress. So I'm excited about that. This next particular project, my twin bestie got me. My twin friend, I say twin, we're not twins, but you know, as I explained, we do twin projects. So that's where that comes from. It's called Poltergeist Pirates. It's by Glendon Place. Absolutely love this one. And I've started again in the middle because I dyed the fabric myself. This fabric they recommend is a linen, and I am not very good at stitching on linen. I struggle with it. I prefer it to be an Aida or an even weave. So I am using a 14 count white Aida that I dyed, modeled with Blue Abyss, Better Black, Olive Drab, Teal Blue, Timberwolf, Gunmetal Gray, and it's splotchy with deep orange and lime pop. Wow, that's a mouthful. I used like 10 different colors to make this fabric. So that's what the called for fabric is. It is a 28 count Bang Cashel Linen by CrossStich Collection. So that's why I chose 14 count, because there are specialty threads, there are buttons, I do believe there's some beads. So 14 count over 1 is equivalent to the 28 count over 2. And again, this one I had to mark in white because I could barely see my water-soluble pen, and that's when I came up with the idea for the T for top. So this is the fabric I dyed. I absolutely love it. And there is my start. Looks so good. Very happy with that. I really want to get some more progress on this project because that fabric turned out amazing. I'm very proud of myself for a lot of the fabrics that I end up creating. So that's exciting. All right. This one I have to find a digital picture. I will be right back.